I'm Mweha Kinjaga. I'm the co-founder and I head customer development at Shipstock. Shipstock is a tech logistics company that is building tech to solve the cost and efficiency challenges that online vendors, e-commerce vendors experience when they're trying to get their items to their customers.
My name is Dominic Mburu, co-founder and CEO of Shopper Connect Limited. Shopper Connect Limited is a company that was formed in July of 2020 to bring solutions to the FMCG environment.
My name is Kipto Magut. I'm a software engineer by trade, but entrepreneur by choice. I run the team at Twende. Twende Mobility is a transportation tech company focused on logistics automation software.
Hi, my name is Trey Hunt, one of the co-founders of the AfroJob Network, also known as AfroJob. We're a recruitment marketing and employer branding company that works with companies to really showcase their vision, their values, their mission, put a face to the company so that they can attract, hire, and retain top talent.
I'm Sitati Kitui. I'm the co-founder of Hodi. Hodi is a platform that aims to help Kenyan talent work as sales reps for US and European B2B companies. So we're using tech to make it possible for B2B sales to be done remotely by talent based here in Kenya.
The idea of Twende started about 4 years ago. We started out as a peer-to-peer ride-sharing network. We built a carpooling service between the year 2018 and 2020, and we pivoted into our current business, which is logistics automation software, as a result of COVID-19. Before Twende, I worked as a software engineer at a number of startups in the US, where I went to school. So I studied electrical engineering in college. I found my way into software after working at a research project in my last year of college. And that's where passion for software particularly, but tech in general, started.
It hasn't been easy building a world-class solution with a shoestring budget, but with discipline and a lot of understanding amongst the co-founders, we were able to raise money from our savings, from borrowing, and some of us had to sell assets to pull in money to put into the solution. So what we realized, even with our constrained budgets, we needed to do some ruthless prioritization on what to spend, when to spend, and who to spend with. We had to get it's a tricky balance when you're trying to get the best of developers, but you're also planning to spend the least possible amount on them. But we were lucky enough, we got very experienced developers who helped build this solution, and some of them with the understanding that we are in this together and they will get their payout as soon as we become revenue positive. So that's how we managed to move on.
So this is my second experience of entrepreneurship. The first one was a really fun journey, but we never got as far as creating jobs for people. And so far on Hodi, we've created 6 jobs. And that's really exciting. It's really rewarding to have people join the team, come with new ideas, and we're predominantly dealing with young talent just straight out of university. It's really, really energizing to have people like that on the team. What I wish I knew is basics of human psychology. One of the things that you struggle with day to day, my co-founder is really good at noticing these patterns, is that losses sting a lot more than wins win, if you see what I mean. So say you have a week where you have 5 pieces of bad news and 3 pieces of good news. From the inside, that feels like a very strenuous, very stressful week. From the outside, your company has probably grown. Like those 3 wins, you have to take many bets as a founder, and not all of them are going to land.
I think for me it's been really empowering just because I got lucky to work with some amazing co-founders who also believe in empowering women. It's been about not shrinking and showing up as myself and being comfortable in that, and also them supporting that and really building my confidence, giving me the push, telling me to even be the one to show up, and I have a seat at the table, you know. And I get it. A lot of the time we don't feel like that. We have things that really stop us from within, stop us from thinking that we are worth it.
I'm not a techie person, but the core of my solution is in tech. So that in itself was a key challenge, but I partnered with two of my colleagues, one who is a tech guru and another one who is a retail strategist, and we were able to build this solution. What I did not at this time is the long hours that I would spend building this solution, understanding all the coding, all the work around the building of the system, getting the right security, and of course the licensing part of the system. So we had many challenges that we would surmount by keeping us eyes focused on the dream and ensuring that the solution that we are building is still as per the roadmap.
The toughest learning I've had in entrepreneurship, it's one of those things which, you know how wisdom is usually obvious, like you just needed someone to say it and then it becomes very obvious. For me, it's the one everyone says this, but for some reason I thought we were different. Don't count an investment as done until the money hits the account, because it's quite a grueling thing emotionally. Secondly, just always have contingency, like whenever you think you're 3 months from revenue, make sure you have money for noodles for at least 8 months. Like, plan for worst case scenario, don't just plan for the happy path. That's a weird thing, like maybe that's obvious to most people, but founders have to outwardly speak about the happiest path, while internally also be planning for the worst case scenario. And so there's that balancing act you have to do, and be transparent to people who need to hear the transparency. Like, I think that employees, for example, need to be aware, like when you're hiring your first employees, if you only have runway to be paying them for a few months, be transparent with that and let people make their own educated decisions about their risk appetite. While when you're pitching to like an investor, of course, there you have to put the other foot forward and talk about what is possible, not what could go wrong. But this is also one of the most exciting things you can do in your career. I remember the first time someone bought a photo from African Stock Photo. I remember the first time a client booked a meeting with Hodi. That feeling that you've built something and created value and someone has actually recognized that and paid you for it, nothing compares to that. Even though we're talking peanuts, like the photo was $20. Our first meeting earned us like $100. It's nothing big, but the validation or the excitement you get out of that moment can't be compared to any paycheck from a day job. So it's worth it. I definitely feel like even the failed startups, it's an experience that you can't get anywhere else other than just diving into it.
So some of my toughest learnings that I've learned in this journey would be that your partners don't really care about your business. Yeah, not the way you do, at least. It's something we knew as co-founders in the beginning, but we never really thought it would hit this hard. Recently, we've been hit hard. I'm not trying to steer you away from partnering with people. Do it if it's something that will help you get your solution or that value to your customers. Do it, but be very cautious. Keep evaluating if that partnership is working for you. So pretty much how we've persevered through it is keep on going.
What I really wish I knew looking back is that building the solution is not necessarily the first step you have to take, but rather understanding the customer and knowing them really well, what their motivations, what their problems are. That's the single most important thing I've learned since I started on this journey. But the other, it's not so much what I wish I knew, but more like it is difficult to know the obstacles you're going to face because no day is the same as the other, and it's a long journey. Nobody told me that, so I wish I knew how difficult and long a journey it would be.
The journey has, of course, had its very exciting moments, and those moments are the firsts. The day we got our first customer, the day we entered our first retailer, the day we got our first FMCG supplier to list their products on our app. We keep celebrating these small wins, and the most exciting of all was the day we got Baobab to start speaking to us. It was really an endorsement of trust and believability in our product.
Meeting our customers in their environments. We entered a space that is traditionally kind of tech averse. They usually prefer to do things manually in the streets. And for us, it was very exciting when we got to onboard our first customers on the streets. And this is for both our mobility and logistics businesses. So it was very exciting when we actually onboard them. We are totally on the streets. It's not what we imagined to be. It's going to be a totally all software, all digital solution, but really in their own natural environment. So that was really exciting for us.
Before becoming a founder, I wish I had just said, okay, you need to be reading this amount of material, or you need to be going through, like, if not a book a week, like a book's worth of material a week, so that you can learn exactly what you need to do from other people who've already gone through that journey.
My tips for growing a company, I would say start out, at least in your first few years, it should be customer development centric. All you should be doing is listening. Listen to those customers. Don't build. Listen, then build. And by doing customer development, you'll be able to save a lot of resources, time, energy, and money. So listen to what your customers have to say, that target. Don't impose your solution. Build a solution based on what they tell you they would want, yeah? But also incorporate like your level of innovation. Yeah, just don't go build something that's just for you. I'd also say cultivate a culture that you'll be proud of, especially for your employees. They need to be comfortable working for you and with your company. They have to buy into the vision, but they also have to buy into it because you make them feel like people. You make them feel worthy of being there.
Throughout your journey, especially as the company begins to get a little bit more recognition and just have a few more eyes on it, you're going to have people asking you, in what ways can we work together? In what ways can we collaborate? This type of stuff. I think it's important for founders to always be considering the option of investment as an option, even if it's a similar company working in a similar industry. For a long time, when other companies would reach out to us, particularly companies in the talent space, kind of leaving that open question as to how can we work together, we would immediately think of, okay, recruitment, we work together on different roles, maybe we work with their companies, they work with some of our companies. That can be a very good way of working together. But another way of working together, especially if the company is much more experienced than you, much more well-financed than you, is for them to invest in your company. So whenever somebody reaches out, especially if it's another company in your same industry and they leave that open-ended question of how can we work together, I would encourage people to think beyond your core business and your core services and think as in terms of investment, whether that be monetary investment, whether it be that person maybe advising your company, but just things that are more on the actual business side of things as opposed to the operational side of what your company does.
We've seen a lot of adoption in various technological platforms in Africa, whether it's fintech, agri-tech, health tech, and this adoption tells us that there is opportunity for innovation in Africa. What I would say is that African innovation should be driven by Africans. It's not a plug and play of an innovation that comes from the West into Africa. Rather, I would look at what is developed indigenously from the continent, because it's only the the Africans who live in the continent can understand the challenges and that are facing the Africans and develop the solutions that would address these challenges.
Honestly, I thought entrepreneurs are these great people, but it's just the simple person just trying to solve a problem. Yeah. So nobody expects you to be perfect at whatever you're doing. Just be good enough. Like, just show up every day, and if you have a problem that you're trying to solve, that's it. Pretty much, don't look at the great founders who've made it. Yeah, just think about what you have established and what you want to solve, and then every day keep getting past those blockers, because you're going to have a lot of mental blockers, things coming up that you need to deal with. But also remember, like, you're working towards a bigger thing, bigger goal.